Hello everyone, and Happy New Year from Windsor Presbyterian Church. Pastor Mary here to share a little bit with you from the church office. Since so many of you can't join me here in the office, I thought I'd give you a sense of what I've been doing in the new year. What I've been doing is filling up the pastor's bookshelves here in the office, and so I thought I'd share a little bit about what is here and what is fun to explore. I can start with all of my books on music and hymnals and books on praise music. You know how important music is for me and my spiritual journey, and I have a shelf that has a few of the books that we are using right now to do the Galatians study, some commentaries that I use for preaching. And as I move over and across on this shelf, these are my books on spiritual writing and autobiography, which would be really fun if we were to do some work on spiritual memoir and autobiography and then share those with one another. I would really enjoy it. It's something that's important to me, and some of you may enjoy that as well. I move across the room and I get some books that were on my bookshelf that I have been meaning to read and haven't had a chance to read yet, but unpacked them, so I have another chance to move forward. There's one book on the shelf that I did have a chance to read that is really wonderful. The Enneagram Made Easy. I don't know if any of you have heard of this. It's a spiritual tool that is used to think a little bit about spiritual types and different ways that people approach both their worldview and their spiritual life. That could be a great Saturday workshop for us to sit down and talk about the Enneagram and what that means for us. On the next shelf is another resource that I think is really wonderful. I bought a whole bunch of these copies of Finding Your Spiritual Gifts. If you open them up on the inside, they have answers and those fill-in-the-bubble kinds of things that help us discern what some of our spiritual gifts are. And I think that could be a great workshop as well to do. And keep going down, we get to books on children and youth ministry, which someday we'll have such a big youth program that I'll need to delve into those again. And when I keep going down all the way to my bottom shelf, that's where I have my books on ecology and looking with a theological lens at the study of ecology. Kind of exciting stuff for me. Of course, as a pastor, I have to have my book of confessions, and I have to have my books of order and all of the books that I use to do ministry in the church. This is my book of common worship in the small size that I use for baptisms and funerals. A shelf of Bibles, it's kind of small. I'm missing my big study Bible on this shelf. It's somewhere at home. We haven't found it quite yet, so that I can bring it back here and use that here. These are so unsorted. There is any given thing that might be on these bookshelves. So I hope that gives you a sense of what I have been doing in the new year. Books and more books on top of books and more books, but that's what it is to have a pastor's office. So although I can't see most of you here in this office, I hope that this gives you a glimpse into the office, and when I do see you, you can think of me surrounded by all of these books. Talk to you all soon. Happy New Year.